Hello, everybody. Today is Monday, July 13th. Welcome to the regular meeting of the Jamaica Selectboard. First order of business is to call for any late additions. I have one, which is to raise a potential employment matter in executive session. Any other late additions to the agenda? Seeing none. All those, I will then move to the next order of business, which is to approve minutes of prior meetings. The first, I will make a motion to approve the minutes from the June 22nd, 2026 regular meeting.
Second.
Thank you. Any comments, questions on the minutes? Seeing none, I'll call the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
The next is to, I will make a motion to approve the minutes of the June 25th, 2026 special meeting.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions, comments, concerns on those? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, our first order of business following regular business, Scott Gordon, who is the Jamaica Volunteer Fire and Rescue Department, is our chief. And he's discussing actually a new law, which results in a change in the structure for the appointment of fire wardens and deputies, and very importantly to the town, issuing permits, burn permits. So Scott, thank you.
So I got a notice from the Vermont Agency of Natural Resources on the 25th of June, kind of out of nowhere. I was actually going to assume the role of deputy fire warden on the first. Stuart Barker wanted to step down. Dominic was going to take his place. Dominic's currently deputy, or was currently deputy. And then all of a sudden we get this notice saying that the state decided that all fire chiefs are now the fire warden. So there's actually been, since then, there's been a lot of emails going back and forth with a lot of the other chiefs, some that I know and some that are further away. A lot of pushback against it. It seems like a lot of the wording was kind of rushed in regards to appointing deputies, and a lot of the chiefs are like, you know, we give 400 or 500 hours a year of volunteer time, and a lot of us own businesses and have families, and now the state's basically volunteering us to volunteer for the position. In mine and Dominic's case, it's kind of not really a big issue. Dominic has been issuing most of the permits for quite a while now, and you know, I'll assume the responsibility as directed by the state, and then it basically the way it's worded is I can name deputies. So I'm just naming Dominic a deputy in name only, really, because he has more experience with it than I do. But there is going to be new reporting. We have to report everything to the state within a certain time period, not just for regular burn permits, but if there are fires in state forests. So it's basically going to kind of remain the same. It would have been this way anyways, except for I would have been deputy, and Dominic would have been head, but it's in name, really, it's the opposite.
And do you notify the state that Dom is your appointed?
Not the way it's looking. The state's basically, if you read the whole thing, they're kind of disconnecting themselves from the whole thing. They just want us to do all the administrative work and reporting.
Right.
But as far as the actual doing everything goes, it's, you know, whereas before you guys could appoint someone.
Right.
Now it's up to the fire.
And we would post it on the website, so
Right.
everybody would know who
Right.
do you call if you need a burn permit.
Right.
So now is everybody supposed to call you and then you refer to them to Dom?
I would put, they can call either or.
Okay.
My preference would be that you put Dom's and his to Dom's number first,
Okay.
but my number, I probably will appoint one more member of the department as well.
Right.
It's really just, you know, if Dominic's away, and he doesn't know the current weather conditions and the burn conditions and everything, and I'm in town, then I can issue him.
Right.
You know, on the off chance that we're both not here, then I would have a third. But yeah, they issue us, well, they used to issue you a whole package with a book and you got your Vermont State Forest Fire Warden plate and everything, but now it's just print this out, it's online, it's PDF.
Oh,
All
okay,
the regulations,
okay.
so,
So on the website, just for us, we should put, you know, where you would have, where we would have put Dom and then you.
right.
Put actually Dominic's name first.
Yeah, but, you know, call either
Right,
Dominic
right.
or
I'll
Scott.
put that up. I'm not sure where it is on the website. I haven't seen it out there, but I can put it up.
Yeah,
Well, their titles are on the website, so I think that's when people.
I don't think anyone's instructed those for fire improvements. I'll make some.
Oh, okay, all
I
right.
think it's on
So
there.
Tom's gonna finesse it.
okay.
Yeah,
Right.
just because the bottom line is we want people to ask for burn permits.
Well,
We don't
yeah.
want them to just burn.
Yeah,
And so making it as easy as possible for them to reach someone.
there may be some changes because I just read an article from Vermont Digger. The Tunbridge chief has refused to take the responsibility and saying like, you know, they're a busier department than we are.
Right,
Sounds like they have we average 275 calls, they average 400 to 500. And so he's basically putting in 600 to 700 hours of volunteer time, you know, unpaid. He's got a business, he's got kids, he's got a family. And he's like, you know, I didn't volunteer to do this. We've always had, in fact, apparently they had their fire warden has been doing it for 50 years. And now she can't even be reappointed because she's not a member of the fire department and she has a plan on joining. So he's actually started a petition to have the state reverse this and change it. John Abel, who's chief in East Dover, highly respected, you know, he's kind of one of my mentors and my go-to for this stuff. He sent around an email also from himself and one of the other chiefs, I think Scott Moore down in Wilmington, basically saying like, there's some wording here that is not right, and they even believe that it conflicts with other Vermont state laws. So they're passing that around. When I looked at the petition, I was a little surprised because there was already like 149 people that had signed it, and it was addressed to fire chiefs only. You know, like that's a lot of fire chiefs. But then as it turns out, there was really only 7 chiefs that signed it, and the rest were just firefighters. So he redid the petition.
okay.
But you can find it on the Tunbridge
Website,
Fire Department website.
okay.
So, and he explains the whole thing in the petition, why his reasoning anyways.
Right.
But I really don't have a problem with it personally. Again, we've got Dominic, who's got, you know, 15 years of experience doing it. And again, you know, if somebody calls me, it's either a yes or no, and we report it.
Right,
That's why,
right,
you know, we do have responsibilities of unpermitted burns. As fire warden, I would have to go out, but that's where it kind of conflicts because then I'm fire chief and in charge of suppression. So it's like I've got to go out there and say, no, you can't burn, then I've got to go back and get the fire truck and come back and say, now I'm going to put out your fire, then you can't burn. So it's a little
yeah, it doesn't really make
wonky.
sense.
They kind of threw it together. It seems like it was a week. So a lot of the chiefs are saying, we've got to learn this whole book in a week with all the regulations so that, you know, we don't get stomped on by somebody that's like, you know, I want my permit, it's in the book.
Interesting, all right. Any other questions? Anything else you want to share about that? I think it's clear what Tom's gonna put on the website and.
Yeah, just make it clear. I'm gonna put we have a sign like that in the fire department, letter, and we'll just put for fire permits. Myself.
Right,
Because we get people all the time that call the station. And
they do, they call the station.
Yeah, and we'll go in there and the first call will be, you know, the permit, and then the next message is, hey, I've been calling for 2 days. No one's been at the station for 2 or 3. So, yeah, so just gotta make it clear, don't call the station, call, you know.
The individuals.
You could put a message on there too, that if you're looking for a burn permit, put that next number.
We do have it on
It is on there.
there. Yeah.
It is. Okay.
First thing on my voicemail is I don't do septic pump outs, and 9 out of 10 messages are I need a septic pump out.
People don't listen, yeah. Paul, yeah?
Can I ask you one question?
Yes, of course.
Did they give you any explanation about why they chose to do this now?
No,
You weren't getting paid for that.
no.
Previous wardens weren't getting paid.
It was some kind of like $25 a year stipend or something.
Yes, it was still much.
Woo.
Full transparency.
Yeah, so the question in my mind is why?
Why?
What is this supposed to fix? And when you go back to complain to them, an answer for how to fix whatever the problem is. Because if they didn't give any explanation, then kind of,
Yeah, I just said this is the decision.
yeah.
It was 3 letters, there was one to us, one to the select board, and, I think just one to general health.
Yeah.
They're all-
Robert, was there anything that you read about why, what was behind it?
No, I was hoping to hear what was, because I listened to NPR this morning all about it, and it was totally confusing and made no sense, so I was hoping you had some good view on why they did it.
And there is, I mean, you know, it's not just like someone calls and can have a permit, sure, and that's it. You've got to record everything. Everything has to be in a book. It has to be, we've got to go to classes, we've got to have meetings, and, you know, there's time involved.
Right.
And again, for a lot of us, you know, the chiefs spend most of the time in the department doing all the paperwork, very enough paperwork.
Right.
Thank God I got Greg Vegas. He does a lot of paperwork for the state, reporting, but there's still a lot of phone calls and meetings and Zoom calls and
Right.
everything else.
All right, well, thank you. Thank you for letting us know.
Yep,
All right. You're more than welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting, Scott.
thank you. I will go home and do my daughter's exercise.
Yes.
Thank you.
Give everyone need a hug from me, please. All right, so Matthew Barlow from Turning Point Windham County is going to,
Speak?
yeah, speak. Speak.
All right, so
Present.
my name
Present.
is Matthew Barlow. I'm the Rural Outreach Coordinator of Turning Point in Windham County, which is based in Brattleboro. We don't do the Windham County very well in that, well, actually, let me explain who we are. We're a peer recovery center for people with addiction and recovery. Peer-supported addiction recovery is proven through the literature to be the most effective way to recover from any kind of addiction, frankly. So we have not historically done Windham County, we've just done Brattleboro. There's this expectation in Brattleboro that anyone who lives up here is going to go there for services. Usually that's not true. I know when I've lived in really rural parts of anywhere, why would I go to town? So my job is to expand our services out here. So this is, I think, the last select board I'll speak to, but I think you are 10th. I've talked to law enforcement, fire departments, EMS, the Catholic clergy. I'm a good Catholic boy, of course. And the various nonprofits, including one down the road in Townsend, West River Valley Thrives. So we work with this. We're working with all these people, building up a network. Part of the problem in the hills is that what's happening in Putney, people in Wilmington don't know, and what's happening in Wilmington, you don't necessarily know here. So I'm trying to figure out a way to kind of draw this network together so that everybody knows what's going on out here. So there's a lot of incredible work being done in the hills in terms of, well, dealing with addiction issues, convincing kids not to even try, prevention work, things like that. So I work with a bunch of coaches in Brattleboro, and we actually just lost our rural outreach recovery coach, so I'm kind of at a loss, but we do have a mechanism in place. We've already, through doing this, we've picked up, I think, a half dozen clients as well, just by being out here. I am based in Wilmington one day a week and in Putney another day of the week. Eventually I'd like to be in town, somewhere between Townsend and Londonderry as well for another day of the week, but that'll come. Right now, expanded work out here is predicated on finding funding. We have a few grants out, hopefully we get at least one of them. But at the very least, I will continue to do outreach. I will continually be available. And what I don't have are flyers and posters, because I have a colleague who basically goes through a tree a week handing them out. He's not an environmentalist. So I'll have to come back and actually have a whole bunch of places in the county to go back to with contact information for us. I will leave a few of my cards with Tom. So, in my experience, I'm not personally in recovery, but I come from a family where addiction issues are everywhere, and my experience is that we all know somebody who has got problems. So we are confidential. We do not blab about who we work with. We are also very good at connecting people to services. One of my colleagues, I connected somebody to Medicare last week. We can connect people to treatment services as well, all kinds of stuff like that. So that's my spiel. Thank you.
So if it would be great if we could have a digital flyer.
Yes.
Because then, and whatever link that we would put on our website.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
A lot of people do come through the town, so honestly, Tom, am I speaking out of turn? We could also print some. If you send us a digital flyer, we can print some. Oh, we don't have color. We have black and white, but at least it would be black and white. But if you want
No,
to,
it's an excuse to get out.
To come
I like
back.
being out here.
right, right.
It's beautiful.
It is
sunny.
beautiful. It
So,
is beautiful.
I'm happy to drive around these roads.
Right.
So I can come back.
There's also, I mean, there's, just putting it up around town, including at the park.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? At least I've had touched a lot of people have touched my life with addiction. So to me, it's about, wherever someone is, if they
Yes.
can see a name or an organization, a telephone number. So we would certainly support it. So send the digital flyer because it can, and the link so that can
Okay.
appear on our website.
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
Drop off whatever, and then, to the extent it's, it sounds like what you are is a coordinator. So
Yes.
someone comes to you and says, I need help, and then or I think I might need help, and you can
And then I
say,
can
here's
connect.
resources for you.
I'm also a coach, but I prefer, because I'm not in recovery, I prefer not to do a lot of coaching.
Mhm.
But I connect people to other coaches if necessary, and of course, all kinds of services.
And other organizations.
I'm actually writing a grant right now for the entire state of Vermont, which is designed to reach out from the towns, into the rural parts of each county.
Right.
So hopefully the state gets that. But this is an under-resourced state to start with. I live in Massachusetts. I'm from Quebec, so I'm from either side.
0, 2, 9, 1, 7, 8, 5, 1, 4.
Sorry about
I
that.
love Zoom. I live in one place that has resources. I'm from another that has resources. And because Vermont's population is so small, it's under-resourced.
Right.
And rural areas everywhere in North America are massively under-resourced. So that's kind of what's driving me to do this work. I don't look like a country boy, but I am. I'm a reformed city boy. So I think this is important work, and I think being out in the rural parts of the county are also equally important. So thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. Any other questions? I think we all would feel, any resources that are available, we should get them out there, so.
Yeah, I agree. So, all right, I'll do that.
Well, thank you for coming.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
Oh, sorry, Paul.
I have a
Please.
good question.
Yes.
Are your services covered by Medicaid or Medicare law?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, they are.
You have to get a physician first to get to you?
I think most of our services are actually free.
Good price.
Somebody comes to us and needs help, we help.
That's
And then for treatment, that's where you need Medicare, Medicaid, or private insurance. But just basic services, to go to a meeting or to have a coach, that's free. We have grants to pay for that. So we are a small nonprofit. We are one of 14 peer recovery centers in the state. And we have relationships with all the other ones as well. So we can also connect people because they also move across boundaries and across counties and all that stuff too. So yeah, it's good. All right.
Karen?
And would you consider having an outreach place in Jamaica here?
Yes. Like I said, anywhere between towns and Londonderry is where I was aiming for. Because Wilmington's way over there and Putney's way over there. So somewhere up in this end of the county would also be useful. Yeah. So yeah, Jamaica's definitely a possibility.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, well, thank you.
All right, I'm going to move on to the next order of business, which is our long-awaited presentation from the various members of the Vtrans team with respect to Bridge 42, to the Depot Street Bridge over to Jamaica State Park.
All right, now, I'm not sure who's leading, but take the charge. Take charge.
Awesome. Thanks, Jessica.
Can we also ask you to put the mic close to the speakers? It's very hard to hear on the Zoom, please.
Is that a little better?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, terrific.
Excellent.
I'm gonna need to be able to share screens in order to, I don't know if someone can allow that permission.
Oh, it's over there.
Bridge 42 is which bridge?
So who's
Bridge on the
representing?
ferry or is it the bridge on the park?
It's Bridge by the Park.
Okay.
By the park.
Who is
Because
allow you to share?
we got confusing 42 and 32.
Oh, you mean the Route
Yeah.
30 bridge? No, this is not the Route 30 bridge.
Okay, this is the one by the park, okay.
Yeah.
Who is, that's one, so we know what we're talking about.
Who's presenting?
Kelly Levine is going to be the presenter.
Okay, I just want to allow her to be able to share the screen.
All right. Can you see that?
There we go.
All right, Gary, go for it.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for having us tonight. We're here to present the Depot Street Bridge replacement project over the West River. Next slide. During tonight's presentation, we'll go run through it. We'll have our introductions, the purpose of our meeting. We'll outline the project development process, where the project's located, some existing conditions, overview of the design, how we're going to maintain traffic during construction of the project. We'll go over the schedule estimate and then get into some questions if anybody has any. I'm Gary LaRush. I'm the Vtrans project manager. And here with me, I have Kelly Levine with Hoyle Tanner. Hoyle Tanner is our consultant design firm for this project. The purpose of the meeting is to provide an update on how the design of the project is progressing, and to also provide an opportunity for folks to ask questions and voice any concerns at the preliminary plan design stage. Next slide. Currently our project, where we are in the project development process is we're in the project design phase. We've just completed the preliminary plans design, and after we move toward final design or concurrent to the final design stage, we'll be getting into the property owner contact. So I'll be reaching out to all the property owners, surrounding the project, going over the project and how it's going to impact them. We'll then get into the environmental permitting process, quantifying the area's impacts, acquiring the permits that we're going to need to construct the project. And then the right-of-way process is where after we've quantified our areas and areas outside the right-of-way that we're going to need easements for the project. And then we'll finish our final plans, estimate, and specifications for the project, and then eventually advertise the project. Next slide. So this project's located on Depot Street, just between the Jamaica Village School and the Jamaica State Park. Next slide. I'll turn it over to Kelly, and she'll run through some existing bridge information and the design.
All right. Thanks, Gary. So yeah, Kelly Levine, oil tanner project manager for this project. Um, uh, I was not on the project during the initial rehab project, so but I've got plenty of expertise with steel bridges, so happy to be working on this one. This existing bridge, Bridge 32, was constructed in 1926. This should all be a refresher for anyone who's at previous meetings, but fabricated by the Berlin Construction Company and Cape Ridge Bridge Company as the contractor. It's 165 foot long truss with 15 feet 4 inches bridge width on center, and about 13 and a half-ish between the curbs. So pretty narrow, one lane bridge with a 14-foot vertical clearance, and it is posted, which means, you know, certain trucks are prohibited from driving over it. So anything over 8 tons is not able to pass through this bridge, and it's sitting on top of some dried laid stone abutments. Resource ID, it's got a little bit of everything. It's got wetlands, we'll have surface waters impacts, floodplain, floodway impacts. There's significant habitat nearby. We've got RTE, which is rare, threatened, and endangered species, which means that we have a lot of time of year restrictions. So with RTE, there's very specific times of year that we can go out and do certain things, so as to not impact them. Farmland soils, which are considered a resource, as well as invasive species we want to make sure we're containing, and archaeological sensitivity. So there's a lot going on with this project and in the site itself. Quick project overview. So what we're proposing with this bridge replacement, now that it's not a rehab, we're going to be replacing that existing steel truss with a new steel girder bridge. So steel girders with a concrete deck on top, so no more truss overhead, and then guardrails down the side. There'll be some related roadway approach work, which includes signs, striping, guardrail, all of the things that go along with a new bridge. On the approaches, you can't just plop a new bridge in and walk away. You gotta do some cleanup work on the end. So we'll take care of that. Some minor channel work. We're trying to stay out of the river, but there is a small tributary to the side that we'll be doing some channel work in. A big issue for this project, obviously, is how is traffic going to be maintained? So traffic will be maintained on a temporary bridge and be located upstream of the existing bridge. I have a sketch of what that'll look like in just a moment. It will also be one-way alternating, so similar conditions as to what's out there right now. And then some minor utility relocations. There are some overhead lines that need to be relocated during construction. So here's a nice color-coded sketch of the project site. This I'm sharing the screen over here. Can you see my mouse moving around? Yeah. Okay. So it's kind of peachy. Yeah, right here. So it's peachy color on the ends, all quadrants here. So that's existing that we're not touching. That's gonna stay as it is. This kind of purplish red color. This is our proposed roadway work. Brown is where our kind of outside of the roadway, where we're kind of touching slopes, where that work is going to happen, and guardrail. And then the blue is the limits of the channel. So you can see the roadway on the west approach, fairly minor. We're doing some minor guardrail work on the approaches to clean those up. And then once you cross the bridge, this is where we're doing a little bit more roadway work here. We're widening out this apron so that the rest of Depot Street, the drive to the south here, and the Jamaica State Park, so that all the turning movements are accounted for there. So those aprons are widened so that trucks turning can make those turns successfully without going off the roadway. And the pavement limits will be this purple. So we will be paving a bit more of Depot Street, a bit more of the drive. it's pretty steep coming down there. If you're coming down and it's gravel and you hit the end, trucks turning on that steep drive will just chew up the outside of the pavement. And so if we pull those aprons out a little bit, pave a little bit more, it'll help save that integrity of the shoulder there. This is a typical section of the bridge. The bridge is 160 feet long and 26 feet out to out. So that's from the very outside of the one side to the very outside of the other side, if you're kind of looking down it. And within that 26 feet, you've got a single 12-foot travel lane and 2 5-foot shoulders. And then the rest of that width is guardrail. And that 12-foot travel lane will be yield conditions on the other end. So you'll approach the bridge, you'll stop, you'll look, and then you'll proceed, and traffic will be alternating as it is currently. And the design vehicle for this one, so like I said, the existing bridge, 8 tons is the max that can go over. In the proposed condition, HL93 is what we design all of our bridges to. It's the standard, and so all vehicles will be able to cross this bridge. All legal loads will be able to cross this bridge, sorry, I should say. Sometimes you have heavier vehicles that we have to look at, but this one should be fine. The aesthetic memo was sent to the select board a little while ago. These next slides are just a recap of that information. So there's nothing new here. These decisions have already been made, just to kind of highlight what was in that memo. So the first is metallizing of the girders. I know there was some discussion a while back before I was on the project about painted girders versus metallized and the aesthetics and the longevity of it. With this project being 100% federally funded, anything you can do at the onset to do less maintenance moving on was kind of the goal here, and that was what we heard from the select board as a goal. So metallizing these girders, it reduces the overall life cycle cost, and it increases the durability of the bridge. A metallized coating lasts approximately 75 years, which is the design life of these girders. So in theory, you shouldn't have to go out and do any maintenance on these. Painted girders, on the other hand, require regular cleaning, which, to be honest, doesn't happen as much as it should. Repainting is needed. When the paint starts to chip and wear off, that exposed steel is really susceptible to rust deterioration. It wears out your bridge a lot faster if you don't maintain it. The paint service life is about 25 years. And the cost to repaint a bridge of this size can be upwards of $200,000. So thinking about a 75-year life cycle of a bridge and a 25-year life cycle of paint and $200,000 a pop, you can see how the cost to maintain that would add up. So metallizing is certainly our recommendation. And that's what the select board had agreed to previously with that memo. The other aesthetic recommendation was stamped concrete abutments. So as I said, the existing bridge has a laid stone, so that there's big stones that are stacked out there, and you get this really beautiful pattern. It's very nice for people going under the bridge. These stamped concrete abutments, they just put a liner in their forms, and it creates the look of stone. It's a very low cost addition and doesn't impact the long-term maintenance. It doesn't really affect the lifespan of the concrete or the durability. It just makes it look nice. It makes a nicer finished product, and it's really not that much more expensive. And so the one we recommend is this ashlar stone. And there's some examples of that on the sheet. Also, feel free to stop me if you guys have any questions as I go. I can certainly come back to answer questions, but if something pops in your head, don't feel like you have to wait till the end. Next up is powder coated bridge rail. The town had originally expressed, a want to blend in with the current park aesthetics. So the bridge rail that we're proposing, the bridge rail itself looks a little different than the 2 examples shown here, but what we wanted to highlight was the powder coating on the left. So that powder coating color, we can use a brown, and we'll pick that color, the exact color out during final design, but we'll make it match the state park color palette. So that the bridge blends in with its surroundings and looks within context. And last but not least, bare concrete deck. I think there was some back and forth on this one, bare deck versus paved. For Vtrans, the preference is a bare deck. Similarly, it's a maintenance thing. There is less cost to have your bare deck, reapply the saline treatment here and there, and about halfway through the bridge life, you then pave it to help protect the concrete at that stage. If you go in and pave it from the beginning, you're going to have to go out and repave it again with the lifespan of the pavement. So by having that concrete deck, you're just pushing that, you're eliminating some of those early costs of repaving the deck the first few times you do it over the lifespan of the bridge. All right, so let's talk about maintenance of traffic. I think this is the same as the rehab project, but the temporary bridge and an approach road will be installed upstream of the existing bridge. I have a sketch that'll show that in just a minute. Alternating traffic will be maintained. In this case, it won't be like a yield condition. There'll be a stop light out there that'll alternate. And that's just because you're not going to have the sight lines that you have on the existing bridge. So you won't be able to see if cars are coming. There's some turns to it that make it a little funky. So there will be a temporary light as signal installed at each end of the detour. And what that looks like is this. So the purple color, again, this is our new approach roadway. So this is all temporary. This will come out when we're done. But you'll have your approach over to the new bridge, temporary bridge. Temporary bridge is in gray here. And then you join back onto the state park side. And while this is in place, all the road work will be happening down here. You can see this is your stop here on red. This is your temporary light. Same thing on this side. And then there'll be, we'll have to do something over here just to make sure that no one coming down Depot Street that's ahead of the red light. But yeah, so that's the layout of the temporary bridge.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Go on. So are you directing that the stream into a culvert? Is that what's going to happen?
Oh, this little one here.
Yeah.
Yep. So the existing stream out there, we'll divert it. We'll put it in a pipe and outlet it. And that pipe size is to be determined. We haven't fully sized it yet. That's a final design task, but yeah, we'll maintain it under the temporary bridge.
Kelly.
Yep.
Could you tell us what the load will be on the new bridge load that will be allowed on the temporary?
Gary, are the temporary bridges in HL 93?
So for this project and from the Army Corps of Engineers request that we have an HL 93 temporary bridge included for this project.
Okay.
Which is the same load rating as the proposed bridge.
And what
Thanks,
is
Gary. That? HL 93.
What is that load? I don't know what HL 93 is.
You want to take this one, Gary?
Well, you're the design firm, but I can give a approximate overview. So the HL 93 is either it's a series of loads. So you either have a tandem or you have a design truck with certain axle loading at different spacing. And when the analysis is ran, it's ran on the controlling load. So depending on what your check is for the design, and will depend on what controls that loading. For the ultimate load rating is the high level summary of what that is. But generally you can kind of sum it up to like a normal 80,000 pound tractor trailer truck.
Yeah, if you look it up online, it's a set load over a set number of axles spaced a certain distance, and it looks like a tractor trailer truck.
Yeah, so are we saying that a fully loaded timber loaded truck would be appropriate, for both the temporary and Untitled Bridge?
Yes. So both of these bridges are going to be rated the same as the interstate bridge.
Excellent.
Yep.
Yeah. And then the next slides, I have a couple of slides here that show some different turning movements of these vehicles for, the different turning movements that a vehicle might have to make while out there. I didn't introduce her, and I'm really sorry. Megan Ohms is on the phone, is on here too. She's listening in. She's been on the project since day one, and she pointed me to the sketches to put into the slideshow, and there was 17 pages of different turning configurations, and she said that was only some of what they had looked at. So I am not going to go through 17 sheets of turning movements. Know that we covered all our bases. I will show you a sampling. And so the way this works is we have a program called Auto Turn. You can specify certain vehicles and you put them in, and an engineer gets to have a fun day of like pretending to drive them through the different like roadway configurations. And so this is one example. So this is a temporary bridge with a truck driving either to or from, I can't tell, from town to the state park. I can't tell which direction it's going. But the red line is the turning movements, and what you want to see. Sorry, I am losing my voice so badly right now. What you want is for those red lines to kind of stay within the dark lines over here. That means that the truck is moving within the pavement. So this one passes. Here's another one where a large vehicle is going over the temporary bridge and continuing on Depot Street. Here's another one with a vehicle making a turn off of Depot Street going to the state park. And here's one with a truck making the turn onto that driveway. So, again, I don't have every vehicle configuration in here, because you'd all be asleep by the time I was done, but just know that we looked at a lot of different scenarios and got things to work. So,
and this is to add to that, Kelly, this turning movement is for the Charles Miller driveway, just to show that the turning movement for the truck works with the configuration we have in place.
Yep.
Thank you, Darren.
All right. Okay. So fun stuff. Estimate. Construction cost estimate, $7.5 million. But construction costs are 100% federally funded, meaning there is no town match on construction costs for this project, which is great. Great for you guys, especially considering there's a temporary bridge in there. So that's really awesome. So scary price tag, but scary for Vtrans, not for you guys. And then schedule. So, when do we anticipate being out in construction for this? That's the thing you guys all care about, I'm sure. Right now we're on track. So this meeting, and part of that right away discussions will kind of close out the preliminary phase, and then we will move into final design. So that's where we really design the bridge part. That's the fun part for me and Megan. We get to design a bridge. That'll be happening. We'll have final plans in by April of 2027. Once final plans are in, Vtrans does their thing. We come back, we do a little bit more work. We issue final contract plans. Those we expect to submit in the fall of 2029. Those will get advertised. Contractors will bid on them that same fall. And then they'll be out in construction ideally in 2023. Or sorry, 2030. Sorry about that. 2030 construction will begin in the spring. Right now, because of all of those time of year restrictions that I mentioned a little earlier, there is just a lot that is pinching the contractor as far as schedule goes. So right now we're thinking 3 years for construction. So 2030 to 2032. We are hoping to get that down to 2 years. We have a sub-consultant on board that specializes in constructability and scheduling. So we're going to work with them on the schedule, see if we can do some things. to tighten that schedule up and get it down to 2 years. And with that, the very last of my voice, I will answer as many questions as I can.
Can we just go back really quickly to the schedule slide?
Sure, absolutely.
Thank you. So I think the somewhat obvious question is the gap between April 27 and fall 29. Is that what?
Yep.
Yeah.
I can help field that question.
That's a Gary question.
Absolutely. So partially, it has to do with our fiscally constrained budget and when money is going to be coming for the project. And then the other part is because we have so many environmental resources for this project, and to get through the NEPA process, it may take a considerable amount of time to get through that potential circulated 4F, and because with some of that NEPA process, you have to send for signatures in Washington, which can take a considerable amount of time. So kind of between those two things, and we can't start negotiating with property owners until we have NEPA clear. So it puts it on a critical path and pushes the schedule out.
Gary, is this the schedule for both bridges, or is there a different time for the temporary bridge?
It's the schedule for the overall project, so both bridges.
Okay, thanks.
And then I just wanted to say one quick thing, in terms of finances, yes, the construction of the bridge is federally funded, but you can feel free to share the fact that maintenance, the bridge is owned by the town, so maintenance is the town's responsibility. And just to highlight to everyone that some of the decisions on the construction were directly related to the fact that we needed to mitigate the long-term expenses that would burden the town.
Absolutely.
Gary, I need to step away for 1 second. I'm so sorry. My daughter is having a meltdown. I will be, I'm so sorry. I will be right back.
It's okay.
So with that, any questions in the room or on the Zoom?
Was it more to Zoom to present, Gary, or not?
That's it.
No, that's it.
Just the
Yeah.
last slide.
Last slide.
Oh, gotcha.
It's a picture of the bridge.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I saw the picture,
Yeah.
not the text.
Yeah.
Eugene has a question.
Go ahead, Eugene.
Good evening. This relates to funding. Just from my previous experience, when the project is as challenging as this is, with requirements for several sign-offs by government officials, has this been earmarked? Has the money been allocated? Or is it still in a process of being allocated?
So it is, so we program out several years. So we, when you get to the 2030 year, it's considered an out year. So it's, but we're putting this project in the budget for, that out year.
But where's the government today? Are they, which government, because we obviously know we're going through obviously more than one election before we get to the day of build. Whose budget is this? If we're going out to 2030, what are the chances that we could potentially wind up without a funded bridge?
So this, the funding for this project comes from the IIJA program. The IIJA program provides a certain amount of money to the agency every year for a certain number of years that program was going on. So that money's delegated or obligated to these projects already that have been spelled out. So we're in the queue basically with those project funds to get the project constructed. It's just a matter of design and getting in line for that funding.
And when does the line begin? does it have to be fully ready and, like designed before we get in the queue?
Nope. So we're when we program our projects, several years out, we're already in that queue while we're in design. So by the time the design and right of ways clear and environmental permits are clear, all that money is lined up or funding is lined up to construct the project.
Got it. The reason I ask is my big concern would be at the rate of deterioration of the bridge, is there any cost to the village between now and 2030 that we are not anticipating, knowing that it's not like the budget has a lot of money in for maintenance, right? So if this thing is really in need of repair, what are we doing to ensure that between now and 3.5 years from now, that we have no cost to not lose access across the river? Like, do we have any contingency just to ensure that there's no issue?
Sure. So the agency does a bridge inspection every so many years. I think this one is on a 2-year cycle right now.
So yeah.
And when the agency goes out and they see anything, they'll issue a bridge inspection finding. If there's any deficiencies in the bridge that needed to be addressed immediately, that bridge inspection finding would then be sent to the town. And if that deterioration is bad enough, then that is not, like, say if it's not repairable, or if it's beyond a certain extent, then we could pursue installation of a temporary bridge under a separate contract. Is kind of the worst case scenario.
And does that fall does that also get covered by the government funds, or does the village then, are they on the hook for that temporary?
So the temporary bridge, part of it would be, to my understanding, since construction would be 100% federal, that would follow suit.
Okay. So I would just make a note to the board. It would be good to know if that is 100% accurate in terms of federally. And I would also suggest we look at the previous inspection, knowing that we're going to go through another cycle before the bridge is built. Was there anything in the last cycle of inspections that alluded to the fact that there might be a problem prior to a new bridge? So at least we can identify a potential problem financially for the or at least short term could be a problem for us.
In my recent conversation with the bridge inspection team for this structure, there was some deterioration of the runners that the tires travel along the bridge. But other than that, they didn't really have many other concerns, today or recently that I'm aware of.
Thank you very much.
Any other questions?
I think the thing that we were looking for, Gary, and I don't know if we do that during this meeting or if we follow up, but we need concurrence from the select board for this plan to allow us to move into final design. So I don't know if that's, Gary, is that a specific
Yep. Yeah,
thing from the select board?
Typically, during the public information meeting at preliminary plans, because it's a town-owned structure, we would request the select board's concurrence to proceed with final design. And if there's any, concerns why we shouldn't, we would certainly like to hear any concerns, if you have any or have them.
All right. Well, then, just as an item of process, I will make a motion that we approve proceeding into final design based on the presentation made today. So a second. Thank you. So now we'll open for thank you. We'll open for discussion. Just volunteering my first thoughts. I mean, this is a confirmation of numerous prior meetings. I haven't heard anything different unless I missed something. This is a nice summary of our prior meetings and prior discussions. Glad we were able to kind of reconfirm it. The only slight change I see is a slight elongation of the schedule, but it's still within the parameters that you had warned us about previously. And so those are my thoughts. Anybody else?
I concur.
Any other discussion? Okay, seeing none, I will call the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Thank you, Kate. All right, well, thank you everybody for joining, and
I just have sort of like a general question.
Please.
Given that it is the 100-year birthday of this bridge, I'm just curious, these types of bridges, they usually last for 100 years? Is this unusual or typical?
So my knowledge is it's only the second one that's still standing of this type, right?
So
Is that true, Gary?
It's done pretty well. There's not
Yeah.
many left of this type of truss in the state.
Yeah.
All right, so Jason, can I out you?
What, have a party?
Yeah, Jason was
It's a
suggesting
centurion bridge.
that we should commemorate 100 years in some fashion, so
It's historical.
I'm gonna raise that at another meeting, right? I mean, it's pretty extraordinary. And just, we can talk about what that might look like, yeah. And we might come back to you guys since you have so much knowledge about the history and its design.
Absolutely. If you have any questions, feel free to have Greg reach out, and we'll try to pull together any information you're looking for.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye. Next, we're going to go through general updates from our town clerk and town administrator, and with some discussion.
Yeah, so Silktide Web tool is a company I looked at. Our website's not really ADA compliant. American Disabilities.
It is not?
No.
Oh, so it doesn't mean like someone without hearing to
This
use our
software is
website.
fairly expensive. It does the ADA compliance, but it also would look at broken links, misspellings, bad wording and such. But it's $5,000. So it's an expensive thing to look at. Again, I talk to these vendors, I say, we'll bring it to the board.
Right.
If you guys are interested in learning more about it, I can set up a demo.
But it doesn't make it so for someone who's either blind or deaf, it doesn't allow them to access our website.
Not necessarily, it depends on how the website is configured. So in WordPress, if we put in the code to let them look at a screen reader,
Right.
then it does, but have we done that?
I
don't know. I'm not a
and
developer,
for $5,000, they don't convert it so that it does.
What is,
Okay.
it analyzes your site and then you can go in and repair, or then repair, or whatever.
Okay.
Make it so it is better, it has more accessibility.
Right,
Yeah.
but it doesn't make it through ADA.
No, and then
compliant.
you have the subscription and you continue to have it. I can negotiate the $5,000 price too. I haven't even done
Right.
anything with that. So
Is there-
I could come back and say it's too much. What
Right.
can they do that's less, and maybe they can.
Right.
But I mean, we probably should do something. There are laws that we're not really compliant with.
Okay, but that we are subject to, and this would at least get us there, if not.
Potentially, this is one
Okay.
tool too. I could look at other ones as well.
Okay.
Yeah, and I would talk.
I mean, I'm interested to hear, I mean, if it's affordable.
Why don't I set up another demo with them,
Right.
and you guys can see what it really is.
Yeah, that would be helpful, terrific.
I'd like to hear a few more,
Right.
I mean, if possible, alternatives.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I have no idea, maybe
We can hire
cheap,
a web
but I don't
developer too.
know.
I mean,
Exactly, that might be a
We
bargain.
probably need to do it, but I just don't know what we need to do.
Right,
That's-
Yeah, we could hire a web developer to go and clean up the website, basically.
Right.
I'm not a web developer. So I'm status of the town lots. I advertised the 1061s on July 9th, so the clock for the 30, on 4 properties at least, so the clock starts ticking on July 9th to August 9th. We'll be able to close unless someone contests those sales. Jessica mentioned to me today that we did get an offer on the Pikes Falls property, a couple offers.
Yeah, so
And so
can I?
you're gonna have a special meeting.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to call a special meeting. We could do it Wednesday. How does everybody have like a 5-minute window Wednesday, July 15th? We could do early, like 8 a.m. We could do lunchtime.
I could do 8 a.m.
Oh, you could do 8
But I
a.m.?
really want to get up there early. But I'm leaving that day, I'm really off.
Okay, well, yeah, but I'm also happy to host it myself. 8 a.m. on.
Sure.
Yeah, Robert, how does that look for you?
It's gonna be close, but yeah.
We're talking 5 minutes tops. So that's 3 of us, Greg and Kate.
I'm good.
Okay,
Probably.
okay.
Just a second.
So we'll warn it then,
Just
please.
a second.
Yes, second? Okay, thank you. Thank you for keeping me honest there, Tom. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Oh,
Sorry,
please.
I have a question about the town properties. I saw the listings, there's like 30 days to contest
That's
the
right.
the
Yeah.
sale. Is it to contest the sale of the property in general or to the person the property is being sold to? Because
I don't think there's really a distinction.
If you feel that the town did not do its due diligence and or a fiduciary responsibility and disagree with the sale price and whatnot, you could.
but if this,
You have to get 5% of the voters to support that,
Correct.
and then
Right.
you have a special town meeting and the people at the town meeting will vote on it.
correct, yeah, but if the buyer is private, we don't know who's buying the property.
That's public information.
It is public, you'll know,
61.
you'll know,
The
yeah.
amounts and the person
Yeah.
who bought it.
So I know not who bought it, if we're trying to contest the purchase from happening and we don't know the buyer of the property.
You will know the
It's
buyer.
been advertised in the.
Right. You can
And it's on the
see
website.
them now.
Oh, you can see.
Yes,
it.
yes,
Oh,
yes. The
If
10
you go to the website, you'll see
Yeah.
under the postings, there's the 1061,
Okay.
and it's listed at the sale price, whoever the buyer was,
Buyers.
and the other information.
And the details around the property, what the property is. Yes,
And
yes.
you
Yeah.
definitely can read that, you can definitely do a petition if you choose to do so,
Right,
and then we would have the special meeting, so.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so that's what's going on, so we'll have a meeting then, you still have a resolution on the table.
Oh, yes. Any other discussion of that? Any, oh, you're just, I just wanted,
I was
it's,
just showing you.
oh, that's fine.
Okay.
So seeing no further discussion, I'll call the vote. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All right, so we'll handle
Transfer
that.
station
Thank you.
Construction activities, so tomorrow, we met with Hunter and Casella on Friday for 2 hours or so at the transfer station and discussed the issues regarding the wall and the loading of the recycling bins. In that, Hunter came up with a plan. We're gonna be sawing off some of the edges of brick and moving some of it back. We're also gonna be flipping the tracks that they go on because one side is bowed, so we can't push it close to the wall. The other side is more straight, so we're gonna flip that around. They're actually coming tomorrow morning to do it. So we hopefully will be completed tomorrow. I don't think it's gonna take more than a day. At the same time, working with Casella on the damaged, what do you call it?
The
Canopy.
Thank you. They found someone to fix it, and they bought the beam to fix it, and it's up there ready to go, and the guy was supposed to come last week and he didn't come. So I'll follow up with Shannon in the morning to see where that's at. Hopefully that will happen as well. The third project is the web, internet. It's finally getting installed up there. The aerial guys were here last week. The bearing guys were there yesterday, I guess, on Sunday, and we just have to get a few people to coordinate, and hopefully they'll come back this week, and then have them come and turn it up. So hopefully we're getting close to that, but that's going on, yes.
If you need Kate or I to just be on Casella while you're out, just let us know.
It's not Casella, it's Hunter.
No,
Oh,
for
the other guys,
Casella's
I'll talk to
repair.
Shannon tomorrow
Okay.
and say, look.
But if
come
you-
on.
right.
I know, because
Right.
we do need to get that fixed, it's dangerous.
Right.
We do want to get that fixed.
Right.
I'll-
But I'm
I'll-
happy to be a heavy,
Sure,
and
I
I'm
will
sure
let you
Kate
know.
is
I'll let
also.
you know if I
Okay.
get back.
Yes, and thank you, Tom, for jumping in on
Yes.
that.
So I'll tell Oliver Boyd to stand down. He doesn't have to give a quote.
He does not, well, you can, I don't think we need that, right, you can stand up. I think we're good with that. But apparently, we'll see how they fix it, I don't know, there's a beam up there, they did deliver the beam on Tuesday. Last week, the guy was supposed to come, he never came. So.
I mean, should I have him just give?
And this is a Casella industry guy that they got from up north coming down or something, I don't know, so maybe he had an emergency, who knows, who did the contract.
Well,
Let's just wait on it for now.
well, here's the thing.
Okay.
Oliver went out there.
Oh, we did.
He already checked it out.
Oh,
He's
they
probably,
Well,
90% there, given
Okay,
the
they
price
can
and
quote.
like a plan for what to do. Did the Casella guy give a plan for what he's gonna do, or is it just kind of verbal?
He's gonna fix it. He's
He's
gonna
just
fix the roof.
gonna fix it, right?
I don't know.
There's no PowerPoint presentation for him. Okay, gonna fix it.
Other issues, I have a few too. The Rossingville committee, the Rossingville Schoolhouse Committee met over the weekend, and they have approved building a handicap ramp to the site. They are going to be, they have the money to do that through fundraising. They wanted the board to bless that because it is a town-owned building. So and Jim, I talked to Jim Hollow this morning, he's just trying to be transparent with the board,
Okay.
what they're doing, and just getting the support of the board.
All right, I will make a motion to approve the building of a ramp for purposes of ADA type compliance, correct? Is that?
It's
Yeah,
ADA,
that's
and he
what
has
I
a design, I
understood.
can forward you the design, he
Yes,
sent it to me
yeah.
this morning.
Yeah.
Second.
Thank you. Karen, did you wanna, you're probably close to that.
It doesn't affect the front of the building, you
Right, it's
won't
behind.
notice it, it's
Right.
on the right-hand side.
Right,
We're cutting down trees and brush and opening it up so that people can drive out on the side a little more. We're
Okay.
hoping to cut more trees down on the left
okay.
at some point. But right now, we'll be putting in the handicap accessible ramp, going into the back where the woodshed was,
Oh, okay.
near the boys' two-seater, and getting in that way.
Great.
Then we may have to open up one doorway that goes into the main part of the house. We'll see.
Any questions on that?
No, just to backtrack on the transfer station.
Oh.
So so he's gonna fix the canopy, but where that canopy is and where the wall is kind of.
Well, we're gonna fix the lawn, actually, we're gonna discuss that at number 8.
Oh, we're gonna
Yeah,
discuss that.
yes,
I'm getting
yes,
there.
yeah.
You'll get it.
I'm sorry.
That's it,
Yeah.
I was talking about current property.
I'm sorry.
Any other questions on with respect to the motion on the table?
And we do have the Rawson reunion coming up. I think it's August 8th. Saturday, August 8th, so it will be used in.
At that time, for sure.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Great.
It's just like new business.
No, it is not. We're actually, we're discussing the motion
It
on
says
the
other
table.
matters. Other matters?
Well, I have a motion on the table, which is approving the ramp.
Oh, that's you. Okay,
Yes.
sorry. Okay.
So I'm gonna call the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay, next issue on my list is I met with Caroline Wallace today, she's the new town manager in Winhall. So we said coffee today.
Oh, they have a
They've offered.
Winhall has a new
They
town
in
manager.
person, so we've been talking, just how we can help each other out and such. She had some good ideas around the technology, which I'll bring up at the next meeting, because she has some vendors she worked with, and how a lot of the other towns are doing their IT without a server and all these things, so I'm starting to get a little more fleshed out before we spend a bunch of money on a server. I received an email today from the Jamaica Arts Council about they want to do a 5K and a kids run August 15th at JVS. I reached out to the SU and said, hey, can we use the parking lot? Can we use the building? Bob got back with me and said anything outside of the building is allowed, and I've reported that back to them. Then later in the day, Greg Frost got back and said if they put a request in to use the building with the SU, then more than likely they will issue them a pass for the day and they'll be able to use the bathrooms on the inside. So we're in good shape with that. I'm happy about their willingness to work with us even before we own the building. So let's hope that continues. I will keep working with them on that, and I've been working with Janelle. And I told her to reach out to the SU and figure out how to put in a request. I'm sure it's just a request.
And were there dates for that?
August 15th.
Yeah, okay, so we wanna.
Jamaica Day.
Oh, it's on
okay.
Jamaica Day, of course.
Yeah, right.
So were you aware that?
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay.
Of course.
Of course. Well, I'm like, did someone plan something without discussing it with Karen? Okay, great.
We have a box sitting over here of these bags that we have. We're completely out of yellow bags. We're completely out of blue bags. These bags say Phillipston on them. Sarah and I are wondering if, and I I think Robert came in and asked, do we want to sell these? They're just large size bags, allow town people to buy them and use them, and we can liquidate the box and maybe
What
make
was
some
the
money.
origin? What was?
They sent us the wrong bags, like this was years ago.
Oh my God, years
So,
ago?
Yeah, so our
Of
thought was we
course.
sell them for
So you
35
sell
bucks
them
a
for the
thing.
same price as the yellow bags, is
And
that
we still
it?
have the orange, yellow coins, the yellow tokens, if people want to use those, but we're gonna sell these green bags.
At the price of the yellow bags? I
Price
just
of the
wanna-
yellow bags, so the
okay.
large bags.
So I'll
and
make-
when they're gone, they're gone.
I don't think we need it, but just to be,
Just
you
wanna
know,
let
belts and
people know
suspenders,
that-
I'll make a motion that, to approve the sale of the, what did they say?
Phillipston.
Green Phillipston bags at the price of the yellow bag.
I second this motion.
Right.
This is good.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Okay, moving on. Early voting, now available at the town office as of June 29th. So if anyone wants to come in and get a ballot for the primary that's August 11th, come to the office, we'll give you an envelope, you can vote at that time, or you can take it with you and you can mail it in prior to. So that's available as of now. I'm going to be putting that sign out on the road so people can come in and get that. And so more people. Again, the election is August 11th. We have also met with the Board of Civil Authority met today, and we've expanded our voting hours. Now from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m., formerly was 9 a.m., so we're trying to give people another extra hour to vote in the morning, possibly before work. So just letting people know that, so that's an exciting thing. The last thing I was going to bring up is the Pikes Falls. You want to leave that for the public comment, or because they come to me?
Why don't we do Pikes Falls now, because you guys are here. I mean, I'm sure you've really enjoyed the meeting so far, but you might have some other things you're doing later. So please, any setup or?
So basically, Mike and my son were together, and he had sent Nicholas some videos of trash that's everywhere, and there was complaints about parking issues, and I know we've addressed this in the past.
Right.
And so he said, what should we do? And I said, we'll come to the meeting and we'll talk with the board. So basically, that's where I'm at, and all these guys, they're looking. So I went up yesterday evening after I was up at Stratton, and nobody was there. It was really lovely. But that was the dusk. So obviously during the day when it's hot, people are seeing those issues.
Yes, I'll take it away.
Yes, please.
Michael DiSabato. Yeah, we're just having, again, issues with upwards of like 40 to 50 cars, which is a certain amount of traffic that's kind of coming around the edges again, and they're completely into one lane of the road. Half of them are walking through the Gibson's property to get to the river with cones off. I have videos of multiple days just driving past. I don't have many, it's just I'm trying to do it with passengers in cars, so I'm not. One of them shows a car almost coming head on and like with me, and me having to go to the side off into the brush almost to get around it. The cars go pretty much from almost Dalewood Road now to Day Road. And I just think it's dangerous, the environmental impact. We went, I've been doing the bi-weekly water testings down there, and when me and Raleigh went down there to do it last Wednesday, we picked up a towel that we use as the trash bag and filled that with all the trash that was down there. There was a adult mountain bike down there that had broken rims that might be still down there. That was just down there.
Just left down there?
Just left down there. And yeah, we came last fall. We were told, I think, that a Windham County Sheriff was going to kind of patrol because there are town ordinances of not being able to, already in place, of not being able to park without all four tires completely off the roadway. And that's clearly not happening. Clearly, Windham County, is not patrolling it that much. And I think we're at the point where we want to see what the next step is of maybe throwing some signs up, limiting the traffic there. There is a perfect space of town property that you can pull off that allows like 10 to 12 cars. It keeps people off her property, it keeps people off the roadway, and I think it's time that the town starts to address that.
Right. So I think you're working with the sheriff.
Yeah.
Right, with Mark. Yeah.
Is there any way you can share me the videos and more specifically about, and more specifically exactly what times? Because it's better if I can give them as much detail, because I've swung up a few times and I'm not there as frequently as you guys are, obviously. So I might miss it also. I would also love to hear what you guys think about what we can do, because we can work with the sheriffs around cutting on the traffic, but as far as the trash and things like that, that kind of, do you have any suggestions about what the town could be doing to help with that?
I don't know, that's like a fine line. I do want to put a trash can there, but then that just makes people start, maybe a sign, like, because there already is the hand-painted sign that I think Robin has put up, like kind of pack in, pack out, that clearly doesn't get observed, maybe putting that more towards the beginning of the trail.
More signage,
I think signage, just to, because people, there are no signs, so for you to, even for Windham County to go up there and tell people that they can't park here, there's not a sign that says that they can't park here, so that's gonna be their instant, it's all out-of-staters for the most part, so that's gonna be their instant defense is, well, I don't know, there's no signs that can't tell me I can't park here. And that would, if I did it too. And then to answer your question about the times, it's pretty much prime time. So like 11:30, the cars start to build up around. Nowadays, prime summer, 9:30, 10 is when an initial car will roll up there. But I'd say 11:30 to noon till about 2 to 3 p.m. is like.
That's when you're seeing the worst.
Yeah,
and holidays.
I drive to work at about 2:30, 3 p.m. And that's when I'm filming 40 to 45 cars.
What I'm thinking is, I mean, like you're saying, there is like a town-owned lot with, 10 to 12 car capacity. Like, one way of addressing this potentially is just only to let people park there and put the signage there, and not talk about like 4 tires off the road, because people aren't going to understand that nuance.
Put our whole town bylaws in there.
Yeah.
But like what Hamilton Falls, which is also in Jamaica, I know it's also state park, and they have a park ranger that can, but they do have signs that say, I don't know the exact wording, but it's like these spots for 6 cars, if you can't fit here, then there's no parking signs on the road, and that's it, if you can't park.
Right, it's a little bit, so where Hamilton Falls is different. So the ordinance, the parking and traffic ordinance actually specifies where there's no parking. At Pikes Falls, for better or for worse, it's you can't park in the roadway.
Right.
So, but what I'd like to discuss with the sheriff is whether we can put signage where it's reasonable that there is no room for a car. So it wouldn't necessarily say, it won't have the fines. It won't be like what you see at Hamilton Falls. But whether we can put up a sign, because we had discussed this and it kind of didn't get through, and Tom's now in this, we now have someone in the role of town administrator, where we could say, no parking in the roadway, past something, whatever we can say, because we can order a sign that says whatever it says, and we can reference the fact that there is a fine if you're parking in the roadway. So even if it just says that, like past this point, if you're, some kind of warning that there's no room to, something that in a quicker way to
So you're
say.
saying some people can park on the road, but only to a certain extent?
Right, so if you sort of see,
property is,
here's
Jamaica Pikes Falls.
here's the road.
Town property, there is a pull-off where the trail is that's perfect for about 10 cars.
Right.
Right after that, the next property starts, which is hers.
It looks
and
like
that's where
this.
There's no pull-off. And then the other property, which is that guy Renegades, who's trying to build like the huts there or whatever.
Yeah.
And his is also no
So-
pull-off. The property kind of comes right
It
down
just,
the road.
there's just not here, there's enough room for a car to fit between the edge of the road and the flat, like where it's clear. Here, it's vegetation right up to the roadway.
Yeah, but
And a steep drop off too.
And a drop off.
Yeah, I know. What happens if people see people parking on the road in these areas that
That's
are
why
safe?
I want to
They're
put a
going to
sign
continue to park.
Right,
That's
but
what I'm saying. I mean,
but
it's just-
that's what I'm saying, I wanna put
There's
some
only parking
signage
here,
on
here,
either
that's-
end to
Right.
make it clear, if you see cars parking here, great, but past here,
No
there's
parking
no-
past this sign, then there's a fine.
right,
Okay, so you
that's
do
right.
like the 10 or 12 that are in that area plus maybe another 10 along the road. Like
There's not enough room, there's not enough room. Anybody who's parking here is halfway in the roadway.
Or I'm in favor of just having everybody be off the road in that designated area. Yes.
I live there and I'm flying.
I think the one thing is we gotta do is that, I think any signage is gonna be helpful, but when you start to say, we have to also, which may
You have to be careful of the words.
right.
Right.
But it
So
may
this is
help
when they're
if
completely on the
somebody might
road
say,
here.
oh, geez, I
Right.
can't park here.
Right.
Even though we might not be enforceable from the sheriff's perspective, the sign still may be helpful.
Yeah, I think.
So right here where that car is where you can be off the road.
Right.
So allowing the 12 cars to be right there, that's the guy who almost hit me right there. and I had to go out.
Yeah.
So see, they're completely off the
These are
road.
fines you're looking at.
What's that flashing?
You know,
That
even
was a
if
part of
sign
the
no
issue.
parking in
And
the
then right
roadway.
here, which
No
is
parking
Gibson's
on the
property,
travel lane.
starts
Right,
your back
right,
driveway.
right.
That's what Glenn said.
These are people trying to go into her driveway.
Towns do
Right.
their precedent.
And
Yeah,
I think we should
that's
put
insane.
official
I think
look at this, like, that's like, they're completely on the driver's side road.
Yeah,
To say
I think-
what are, you know,
And Tom, you can get these
because
to
littering is
city high school.
illegal,
Yeah, I can get it from him.
you know, littering's illegal,
My son-
et cetera,
Okay.
and we.
Because that way I can show them, I can show them Mark.
We picked up, we picked up.
Right. Yes.
This was like Wednesday morning, we're picking up just all the trash.
I know, that.
Last week.
This is the bicycle that was left down
We had
there.
an outdoor shower. He was
Okay, let's-
preparing to go to the shower, and down our yard, in our lawn, with gardens on this side and gardens on this side, came 5 people. One person on his phone like this, and 4 people behind him. Da, 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 da. And they literally walked. My garden, the green grass. They walked down, and there's our deck. Glenn said, "Excuse me, what are you doing?" Pikes Falls. They're on the other side of our house, not the Pikes Falls side. They came in from the Day Road side on my grass path. Their Google Maps walking told them to go next to the river instead of staying on the road. They were in our yard. So I said, I thought Glenn was yelling at me. I was behind him, and I was like, "What
What are you yelling
There were
at me
people
about?"
in the yard, and I was like, "Oh." So I was closer to them, so I said, "Can I help you? This is not how to get to the river. You need to go back
Right,
out."
did you say you're on private property?
Yeah, I said, "This is my yard,
Right.
if it's not obvious to you." And I said, "You need to go out the grass path, down the road to where the white sign is and follow that path in." I figured that was easy because the path in the woods isn't easy to find. They walked out the road and they came down our driveway. They obviously didn't understand, so I walked up the driveway and I said, "Did you not understand me?" No, Pikes Falls. Oh, they don't speak English. Okay. So I walked them out the driveway and I said, white sign, go." So it's happening, people just don't know. I understand if you don't know, but that's pretty obvious to me, but it wasn't to them. And people are parking their cars in our driveway, people are, we were gone this weekend, we have now put up a camera in our driveway. And we had 3 cones at the end of our driveway.
Yeah.
So people would not turn around and
Did they
park in
move
our-
the cones?
No, they walked. 2 people. I have a video of 2 people walking down our driveway with their beach bags and their towels. They look around at our driveway and they kept on walking right down to the river.
But they parked in your
No,
driveway?
they parked out on the road somewhere, but they walked down what was obviously our driveway with our cars and their beach bags and just thought they could go in the river behind our house. So people are getting very blatantly disrespectful, and the garbage has been really out of control.
I think I think the sheriff too just gotta go up there and.
Right.
And it maybe, it doesn't say maybe luckily, but that's not the right word. If you reduce the number of cars by 20% because they get the clue that they can't park there. At least hopefully the trash goes out by 20%, but I don't know, that's not good.
And
Like if you saw that video I showed, that was 40 to 45 cars, so
Yeah.
allowing about 12 cars.
It's dangerous.
That's
Like,
like
somebody's gonna get killed.
I have beach balls coming across beach balls, like on Pikes Falls Road that just come like flying across the road. Or a dog, someone's dog that's unleashed because they're trying to like get him in or like drive off to get him in the car. It's a little chaotic. And I'm shocked no one has gotten hurt yet. I'm very thankful for that, and I'm hoping to address this before someone gets hurt.
Yeah, I think to address something like that, I think you have to be like super clear because people don't understand nuance, or you can park here but not here on the road. Like people are not going to get it. They do not.
I think the quarry has a good, like if you, like the quarry, you could endorse it. You could pull in and you park clearly in their parking lot, and then all along the road there are also, I'm not trying to like litter Pikes Falls with signs either, but just opening conversation about how to do this properly. I think signage is a good first step, kind of.
Yes.
And I'm not trying to like obviously have signs all down and around that say no parking.
I don't know, I think we might need to do that. I'm not averse to that.
Because like down that road where the Dorset Quarry is, it's clear, and it says no parking on either side of the road too, so that's eliminating you going through like the other posted signs.
I mean, it's a little bit different because that's a state highway. It's Route 30, so Vtrans is like really on that versus a town-owned private road. But
and is there any place else reasonably nearby where you can park or
no?
I'm just thinking like
if people who won't do it, like during COVID when it was kind of I think closed off at one point for maybe July or something, people started parking up Dale Road, which is the road I live on. So that is a little walk around, and I do understand that could be the next possible thing. Then you might see me here asking for a no parking sign there, but.
Yeah, I want to give people some kind of options to sort of, you know, if that 10 to 12 lot is full, like you can park here and walk for a quarter mile or whatever.
It's all kind of private property there.
So there's nothing there.
Yeah, if you have 40 people going up there, if I've gone up there to swim and I can't find a parking space, I'm going to look around for somewhere to park. So if it's up on Dalewood, and that's what people, I'm just saying you, so I'm using that as a hypothetical.
But I think it'll still eliminate, I mean, like, yeah, you would, and maybe I would, but I think like 70% of people might not.
They might,
like
parking sign, but they're gonna say, well, I'll just drive up the road a mile and see what I can find.
Like mom and grandma and the 3 kids are like, gonna see hop out, I don't know if they're gonna walk the, you know, kind of quarter of a mile down the road.
But that would be at least less dangerous if they drive further down. People would be spaced out, and it wouldn't be all in the same area where that curve is.
Like there's people walking.
Yeah, but that's their problem. As long as they're off the road and they're not.
The beginning of Dalewood is a nice curve there too, so that's just going to be dangerous as well. Like that is a nice blind kind of curve. So if people start parking on there, then we will have this kind of same issue.
I wanted to add one more thing. There are 5 houses right at Pikes Falls that are all short-term rentals as well. And all of them seat more than 10 people. So last weekend there were, I'm just gonna guess with my poor math, at least 35 extra people down at the falls that were renting the houses around us. So there's another, at a minimum, 25 people in the 5 houses that are down there on a busy weekend. So it's an overuse issue too for us with, you know, just again, the garbage and the other things that are happening. People choose to go to a crowded beach and put their blankets right next to each other, you know, all over the world. That's fine with me, but it just feels like our resource is getting overused when we have 45 cars plus an extra 25 at a minimum people that are there that have walked in from the neighborhood too. And it just feels like it's a lot for that little swimming hole. And
yeah, I mean, short term, since we don't have, you know, I mean, there is state level short-term rental requirements. We're considering an ordinance, but not to limit.
Oh, I'm not
more
saying
to
anything
register.
about it, I'm just
Yeah,
saying additional
but I
people.
think it does. I think it puts pressure on the need to control the traffic. So
How many people have you seen down there at any given time? 100
Well,
people?
I'll tell you right now, my Lucas Hughes from Peru, my husband's friend, he came this weekend, July 4th weekend, we were not there. And he said, oh my God, you guys, I went down, there were over 100 people there. And I've never seen 100 people.
I've never in my life.
But there were 37 cars?
40 to
40
45,
something,
like
yeah.
42, 43.
So
But if you factor 2 cars, and that's minimum 90 people right there.
Yeah.
Most of the cars I see have like 5 people, 4 to 5 people, because they're families that are hopping out. And then tack end is like, I know the Michionis used to own in Dalewood and stuff like that. The kids came up last year. They counted something like 135 people there on one of the Saturdays. And
where do all these people?
It doesn't seem like it would be a good
No, he showed me the video.
Who wants to be there
This
with that many
day,
people?
someone had brought a
That's
JBL speaker this big down there. So they had like it was like a DJ party. It was like, and everyone was next to each other. There was upwards of 30 people swimming in the little falls, which I couldn't like really gather how like it looked just like a hot tub or something. Yeah, he got like a quick panoramic video he showed me of it, and I was just like, holy crap! Like this was last year, and it's only getting worse to me.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to do something like what they have at Lake Lowell, where they monitor and they have a cutoff for how many people can park there. I mean, they have,
Yeah, but Lowell Lake is a park. I mean, it's a state park. They have the resources to manage that. I mean, we don't have the, Pikes Falls is just owned by the town.
But I think if there's like enforcement, consistent, and just designate that one area where you can park and everybody else gets a ticket, eventually people will get the message and they'll stop doing it.
Right.
I think
maybe we could be more lenient later, but
not now.
Just kind of weeded out. I know it's a state park and a whole lot different, but they did limit the parking there, and it's kind of known now. When you like Google Hamilton Falls and the reviews, when people look at it, it's like, hey, there's only these spots.
Exactly.
You might have people who are looking Pikes Falls up and they're going to read the reviews like there's only 10 spots, like so maybe they'll get the picture on that a little more. Like,
or they'll figure out, you go early in the morning or you go late in the afternoon. You just figure it out.
Like people aren't going to do that. A lot of people won't, so it'll limit it. Like it's not.
Yeah. We're just, we said it, but it really is about the safety. And the video that Mike had from last weekend, he in his car almost had an accident with someone. They were all people parking all 4 tires in the travel lane, and you can't have 3 cars. You can't have people passing each other and the car that's parked there, and it really.
And there's times you hit head on with someone, not like hit, but when you get it, and if it's a wide enough truck like mine, someone's got to back up.
Right.
And now you're like looking at someone reversing like a 20-car length.
And is there anything that needs to be done in that area with the 10 spots? Like, do we need to make it clear where to park? It's just kind of a free-for-all that works itself out.
Yeah, it's kind of it's a nice shoulder, it's a free-for-all, we just put in 2 signs up that's like parking only for Pikes Falls between these signs.
Don't say Pikes Falls.
Yeah, just say no parking, right?
Say no parking.
That's even better,
Only between
No
these
parking
signs.
beyond the sign.
No parking beyond
these
these signs.
for if you get fined, parking only between these signs. I agree with that.
Because without enforcement, the sign is a sign, some people write alternate topics. We have to get the sheriff up there at some point even a couple of days to ticket people, and I think that would just, people say, oh, I went up there, the reviews like this, I went up there and I got ticketed, I got a $50, I don't know.
Right. You need to get the word out.
We're gonna have to deputize Mike and I, during COVID, when people were sneaking in. And we went down and said, no, it's closed.
We give tickets for the town, that will just give the town a ton of revenue.
Can we put up any cones or anything? If you wanted,
she has cones for her driveway.
I know they're going to my driveway. Because they realize they're going too fast, and they come and they pull in my driveway super fast because they realize they've just gone past the parking spot. And my dogs are in the driveway, and so we put cones across now on the weekend so people don't speed in and spin out and back up into traffic and turn around.
You can see in the video that I showed you, when you pass your driveway, there was 4 people, beach towels, all sitting there looking through. You can't hear it. I heard it when I passed, but they're like, I don't think this is it, guys. And they're trying to decide whether or not to enter her property.
Right. All right. I think we have our to-dos. I think we'll put it on as a recurring item now. You don't have to come. You can Zoom, or you can come. You're welcome to come back. To get updates, and of course just talk to any one of us at any time. But thanks for coming. I wish it weren't the case.
So in terms of next steps, I guess it would be ordering signs to say
you
can park here, no parking there.
Well, we have to work out with the sheriff's department.
I'm in town. Let me go up. I won't be this week because I'm in town, but I will go up next week as road commissioner.
Yeah.
In that hat and look at the road and see and go up with it with Keith.
Right.
And see what we can work out. See if we can do. If you guys want to meet us up there, I'll let you know when we're coming up.
Perfect.
I think it's pretty clear where it is, because
where
that other property where the cemetery easement is, that's kind of clearly where it stops. That's where the property is.
Yeah, you can see it. It's pretty obvious.
And the other side's clearly where her property line starts. And
there's no room.
There's a telephone pole right there.
And
that's kind of clearly where her gardens kind of
but only because it's so steep there. You can't get your tires off the road.
Exactly. All right. Well, you're invited to stay.
You guys.
Any other matters on yours? Okay, so I'm going to move on. to the sign ordinance. So, for better or for worse, I went through it.
Sit there and shut.
I went through it and,
Hey, guys, have a good night.
thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Okay, so, I know that, this is a little bit for me, like a where do we begin kind of thing. I have a lot of concerns about it, and I'm not quite sure, what the best way to proceed is.
I think, I would suggest that we pull it out of this meeting and form a small committee.
I agree.
There are, I think, a number of us have similar. or
Oh,
the
okay,
same
so I'm not
concern.
the only one.
No,
Okay.
a lot of
Okay.
us, I've heard concerns, me personally too, has,
Okay,
and not, I mean, it's just a lot of detail that we're never gonna hash out now.
Never.
I think we need to
no, yeah.
have a couple people really focus on it, spend some time. I will
I'm willing to be
volunteer.
And
for
I'm
that.
willing to be on it.
Okay.
Anybody else dying to be on it?
Well,
Well, only two select.
not all two select board people.
Yeah, it can only be two.
I'll do it.
Well, that's three right there. I, considering my background, I'm very comfortable editing this document. So I'm happy to not be on the committee, but I'm going to do some drafting, and
Fine, which is
suggest.
perfectly fine. That might be a better way to do it.
Okay.
Have a small committee and then, there's certainly, I'm not the legal person, but I can see some illegal issues, not illegal, but legal issues.
No, there are legal
but there's
issues
also-
and there's
but-
internal inconsistencies and it goes beyond what we want.
Right,
Right,
exactly,
right.
yeah. And it's trying to.
So I'm happy to just mark it up and give it to you, my thoughts, and you and Kate and whoever else is on the committee.
Tom,
I can be on it.
That'd be great.
I think that makes
Is that
sense.
fine?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm good with that. So I will make a motion that we, if we form a formal subcommittee, that means if you have a meeting, it's subject to open meeting law. Just want to remind everybody. All right. So I will make a motion that we form a subcommittee of the board comprised of Kate, Greg, Tom Tolbert.
I'm not on the board.
No, a subcommittee of the board comprised of, I guess I wasn't clear. A subcommittee of the board that would be comprised of Kate, Greg, Tom, anybody else can give their thoughts to the subcommittee, but the subcommittee will then take these suggestions, et cetera, considerations, and come back and make a recommendation to the board in terms of an amended ordinance.
Second.
Thank you. Any, Paul, please.
Do you want to title this something other than just a subcommittee?
No.
Nah, it's a subcommittee to consider the sign ordinance. That's all. That's we can have a name, the sign ordinance subcommittee. How's that? Right. My resolution was the subcommittee and its purpose. That's its sole purpose. It can be called. Well, why don't you guys come up with a name for yourselves?
Our
How's
purpose
that?
is to take a look and revise and update the cycle.
Yeah.
That's all I'm asking, is that in your motion that you mentioned, it's the subcommittee addressing the sign ordinance. In some fashion, a purpose, name.
I did, didn't I?
Might not have said that.
SOS, that's what we call SOS.
SOS.
Subcommittee.
Sign ordinance subcommittee, the SOS. I love it. I love it. Okay.
I will second the SOS.
Wait. We have a motion on the table, which is to approve the subcommittee to consider the sign ordinance and accept recommendations and come back to the board and make a recommendation on the sign ordinance.
Call the motion.
Okay.
Getting tested.
All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Great. Thank you. Thank you very much for that suggestion. That's excellent. All right. The next is revisiting the scope of phase 2 of the Jamaica Transfer Station. I'm not going to characterize that. Can I hand it over to one or both of you to kind of remind us what phase 2 was and what we're thinking?
About what we were going to do with the canopy, obviously when the one was damaged. In the original proposal, there is not a budget to rebuild the canopies. So the canopies were being torn down and shipped off. We might keep some of the materials if they were in good enough shape to do so. And then the wall would be replaced and the bins would be put back. The concern is that without covers, that some of the rain could soak into mattresses and other of the construction debris, which would increase the weight of what we're bringing down to Casella. Some people, Greg has mentioned that he doesn't feel that the amount of weight increase justifies rebuilding the canopies. So that's kind of the discussion that was going on, and then what was thrown out after that is, do we as a town, because it's extremely expensive for us anyway, and where we lose money, continue to take any construction waste at all? And that's what the board was to discuss this evening.
Another possibility would be, instead of having 2 dumpsters, just have 1. And not,
Well,
if we did have 1, it wouldn't be the one with that wall that's falling down. Just push some gravel up against it, and then you don't have to do that project.
Maybe not. So that's something for you guys to discuss. But the idea would be, if you decided not to take construction waste, that you would still have 1 bin for mattresses and people cleaning up their barns and stuff like that. So there still would be a supplemental bin that's not the household waste or the recyclables, but it wouldn't be, you couldn't say, I'm a contractor that just tore out a bunch of sheetrock and a bunch of windows out of a home, and I'm now bringing it over and dropping it in.
And if it's mattresses and stuff like that, then you don't really have to drive up and throw, you could actually just throw it up and over, so it doesn't have to be like driving up the hill and getting level with the top of the bin. I'm just saying, like, you know, if you
We
did want
can
to go
modify
that
the
way,
design. We can
design.
modify the
One
design
thing
to meet the newer.
One thing that has come out of when we went through the last project and what we talked about Friday is we will be having pre-construction meetings rather than post-construction meetings to fix it. We will have pre-construction meetings where the design and the needs and what we're trying to accomplish are very clearly set with the hunter, making sure Casella sells off, buys off on it, making sure that the board sells off on it, so signs off on it, so that we can make sure that everything is copacetic. And then we're not doing what we did with the smaller wall where they've come back 3 times, 4 times, we're stumbling and then they get active.
Right.
That's not what we want to do in projects.
So, Kate, can you hear us well?
It's very difficult because there's so much echo, so I didn't really, it wasn't all clear to me who was saying what.
Okay.
Sorry.
So, no, that's okay. I mean, so what Tom summarized for us is that, and contributed by Jason, is that this phase 2, originally when the RFP was set out, did not include rebuilding the canopies.
Right.
The second observation is that we as a board can potentially consider no longer accepting construction waste, and therefore the design or the RFP could be redesigned to accommodate only a single bin, which is designed to take in the types of waste that we agreed to take, other than construction waste, that is not household or compost or tires. In other words, i.e. mattresses. And so that would be a change in our scope of services at the transfer station, and concomitant with that would be a smaller scope of redesign for phase 2. So just, you know, I know that, you know, you've had conversations with our transfer station attendant and you have a closer connection to Windham Solid Waste, so I kind of wanted to just make sure that you were hearing and to bring you in at this point.
I appreciate that, and I'm concerned about the people who generally use the C&D. I mean, what happens to those people? I would imagine they wouldn't be happy. Financially, how does it affect us? There is one minor point, which is that Windham Solid Waste, if we had mattresses that were covered, they would take them for less than what we pay now to Casella. That's a minor thing, but still, yeah, I hesitate to stop accepting construction and debris.
Do you know what the alternative is for a local contractor? Is it Brattleboro? Or you don't
Or
know?
get it on dumpster.
Right.
Get it on dumpster.
Oh, a private
Or they
dumpster,
take
of course.
Brattleboro, dump it.
Or Brattleboro, but I'm saying if they don't do private dumpster, it's Brattleboro, correct? Yeah,
I'd
okay.
like to propose that, I mean, for part of this analysis, that we're kind of all hypothetically saying, this costs us money, we're losing money, this, how much
We
does
need
it
to
cost
hear from
us?
Sarah.
We need to get some
Right.
numbers, factual stuff.
Mhm.
And then have this discussion prior to reevaluating what the new look of that area looks like.
And
I mean, if we reduce the number of, if we don't need 2 bins, if we don't need cut canopies or do need canopies, but we need to evaluate financially to show, I mean, I know just off the top of my head, what the number is, but we're subsidizing
Right.
people that get rid of their construction debris here when they're charging to do maintenance and rebuilds and all that kind of stuff. They're charging their customers a significant amount of money and we're eating it.
Yeah.
But I'd like to know what that is. I think all of us would, to say, is it really worthwhile getting rid of this? And how much are we gonna save that we should put into revamping that area?
And I think it's in depth enough
I
that
agree.
Sorry.
What?
I was
Sorry,
just thinking
can't
that it sounds like there's a lot of information that needs to be gathered, and it almost feels like this should be a little subcommittee to kind of.
Yeah.
I think
Just need to get Sarah, I'll get the information from Sarah. for you guys
Yes,
and
this
find
is
more
easy to
details
collect,
from you.
yeah.
I don't think you need to.
Yeah, no, it's actually not hard to get this information. I'll share with you though, having gone through some level of this analysis in the past, unfortunately, it's not tracked in a way that's gonna be like, okay, what's our margin on contractor waste? What's our margin on this?
Because
It's
they're
a
all in the
little-
same bid.
Yes, now I'll revisit this with Sarah to see if we can put a finer point on revenue streams out of the transfer station. But we may unfortunately find ourselves in a position of having to make these decisions without super crisp financial.
Oh, yeah, but one thing, we're charging people by volume and we're our cost is by weight.
Right.
And
Yes,
there's a real disconnect there. We don't have an ability to weigh this material.
So, can I give a little analogy?
Yeah.
So from someone who's probably taken more truckloads of trash to Jamaica and or Windham, depending, since when I lived in Newfane, we didn't have this option. So I'd load up, the 3/4 ton pickup truck and pay 4 times, 5 times, sometimes 6 times as much as I do here.
Wow.
And that's with me transporting it to Brattleboro.
Yeah,
So
it's very expensive.
I quickly learned that my truck can be loaded up with shingles and dumped here for $40, and that is the best deal that you can get anywhere.
Should we
So
charge
are you
more?
thinking we need to charge more? I'm just curious, I want to see where you're
I
going.
personally think we need to do it what way with construction debris, because not only are we looking at the initial cost of how much are we subsidizing it, but we're also looking at, we got $95,000 to fix that area, just so we then can subsidize.
Continue subsidizing.
And then not only after that 95,000 to subsidize it, but we might have to put roofs over it for another 50,000. So we could be $200,000 in the hole this year just to maintain construction debris. That's 10% of our budget.
Right.
That's why I wanted to
I have a question.
Oh, go ahead, Kate.
What happened to the idea of, Jason mentioned last time, of having someone for much less money come and prop up that canopy, which I thought was not a temporary fix, maybe it was. What happened to that idea?
Casella's gonna come and do it for free.
Who?
Casella's doing that for free.
Casella is fixing the canopy.
For free.
But I thought that they were not actually I thought that they were not at fault.
They were.
That was ultimately, I thought
Casella
ultimately
said-
that they weren't.
They were.
Well, they're accepting responsibility of doing it for free, so that, I think we should accept the generosity.
Great.
But it
But
doesn't.
is that temporary?
That.
It's somewhat temporary in that it's.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. I mean, we have to fix that retaining wall. So those canopies have to come down. If we're gonna fix the retaining wall, and replace
Right.
the area and continue offering construction waste,
Or
Right.
anything.
they have to come down.
Well, that's
So
the
they're
part-
temporary.
No, that's
Temporary.
that's the part that I think needs a bit of a deep dive, is like finding out exactly what Hunter is budgeted and what
Oh,
their
yeah,
plans
yeah,
are.
yeah, that we're
and
all
then
talking, that's what we're
revise
talking
that.
about.
Yeah, but
I'm just answering Kate's question about
Yeah.
whether it's temporary and why.
I will
That's it.
schedule a meeting with them, you can all come out and you can all talk about it next week.
Right.
can you, yeah.
I
forward
can
me
see
the
like Hunter come out.
plans.
But it seems a little
Or Josh
premature to
come out.
have Hunter come out. I think we need to kind of do
Yeah,
some
it's-
fundamental work to decide
That's
as a board what we think is right for the town in terms of going forward, in terms of what we offer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
if they have like some kind of a plan that I could see and see like what the costs of each aspect of what they're planning to do in the fall and what we can take away and save money on.
Right, but we would have to ask for pricing different proposals, like one which would be what you
So
just
it's like a lump
described,
sum
which is
as
a,
opposed to like.
no, just to
It's
say,
like-
okay, what if we do one dumpster? What
Right, right,
what do you
right.
recommend in terms of
Right,
a
right.
design for one dumpster? If it's two, no canopy, you know, just, you know.
Yeah, right,
The
right.
last project, what wasn't done, and I'm
Yeah.
not trying to disparage Greg's work on it, because, you know, but
Oh,
when,
God, yeah.
there was no design. It was always like, redo the retaining wall. That was it.
Right, that's why I wanna see the design.
So really what needs to happen is talking to them and saying, this is what we really want, let's see what you.
Or you
show
tell us
the
what you
design.
recommend.
Show us the design, guys,
Right.
what we're going to do,
Right.
rather than have it where they just build it. Oh yeah, we're gonna do this, they build it, and it's
Build
like,
it.
well, that's not right.
Right.
So just trying
It
to,
looks pretty.
trying to have more a front-end conversation with them, once we
Right.
figure out what we want. Do we want one
Right.
dumpster, do we want two, do we want one?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be like the bridge presentation or something.
Or what are we doing? So,
Staff concrete, solid concrete.
That's something.
Karen,
I think encouraging contractors to use dumpsters. I mean, it's not hard to call and get a dumpster delivered
Right.
for a project. But I think you
it
have
costs
to
a heck of a lot more than,
It does. And I think you have to be careful of the average person who's redoing their bathroom and needs to get rid of, you know, some
Yes.
construction stuff, so
Yes.
I'm not saying you're completely doing away with it.
That's why I think
Right.
having one is plenty.
I think,
and,
so,
you know.
yeah, we do, it's pretty clear today, is my understanding, but the difference between a private homeowner who's done a minor, you know,
Right.
at home, and we're always gonna have another dumpster, which is not household waste and not, you know, one of the things that fits in the side bins. And I think it should be not, I mean, I think, maybe this is naive of me, but that Ernie or whoever's manning the, you know, transfer station is gonna be able to tell, is this a commercial truck that's being backed up to and
Right,
dumping
exactly.
a full load? Or is it, you know, Joe or Mary with the one toilet and the, you know, and the vanity, you know? And the, you know, so
tiles.
the tile, yeah, the handful of tiles.
And actually
Right, right.
having it not be accessible where you could back up and
Exactly.
unload it. Maybe it's better if we have like maybe like some stairs next to it where you can just
You know, you're
throw it
doing
in.
this.
And if you
know,
can't, and if you're a contractor and it's not worthwhile for you to do that, then you're gonna go get one from Casella or whatever. But if you're a DIYer, you're gonna do that, and that's reasonable.
Well,
I
and
like
you should
that.
up the
Right,
price.
if you cover.
Yeah.
And increase the
And you can,
price.
Yes.
Right,
Move people out, price them out,
Right.
or whatever.
At least like 5 times higher if you want to match.
right. All right.
So we're gonna table this for.
Well, it's not,
Well, we're not
I didn't have a
but
motion.
we're just discussing.
I'm
Right,
gonna,
right.
this is another one where I
Well, it
think
says
we just kind of
possible-
keep it on, we'll just keep, we might, I don't know if we'll move it to Tom's section, but it's gonna be on, this is clearly, we're running.
Once you make a decision on what you wanna do with the construction trash, I will work with Hunter and Josh or Jeffrey to get a new quote and and figure out what we're doing.
Right.
Because we have
And I-
accepted this quote, we just haven't signed the
Yes,
contract.
yeah, exactly.
That's the next step.
But I'm happy between now and the next meeting to talk to Sarah to kind of see what.
Some ideas.
What's helpful, what could be helpful, and quite frankly, how much we would have to charge to actually
Yes.
not be so far in the hole. And I have a feeling,
Yes.
I could be very wrong, but I have a feeling it's gonna be a big enough amount that it might be almost silly to
A lot
offer.
more. Yeah.
Yeah,
It would
construction.
see people make their own minds up.
Right,
So that we
right.
don't have.
Right, but let's see, I could be wrong, well, you know, but
Right.
we're in the hole. When we
And
say
there's
we
a lot-
subsidize, we subsidize.
Yeah, and there's a lot of other towns, I mean, I think Robert had mentioned, I mean, there's towns that have moved away from this and they all have some reasons for it. And the designs of these things have all, there's a lot of different designs out there. We can copy some stuff. Is there canopies, no canopies? Is there a wall? Do they take construction waste? And I think Bob down at Windham Solid Waste or whatever can be hugely helpful with that too. I mean, just what are other people doing? I mean, I feel we're in a minority right now taking the construction.
Right. Okay. Well, that was a great conversation. So thank you, everyone, and you know, stay tuned. And that's it. The last item before I will make a motion to approve the timesheets for the staff of the town office, the listers, the highway road crew, and the transfer station.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion of the timesheets? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Great, and I will now make a motion to approve the pay orders / warrants as have been issued.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions, comments? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All right, public concerns.
Can I have a public?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so just as an idea, because I was driving down West Jamaica Road where that, you know, the hard right is, where that metal, the people hit the metal guardrail all the time.
Oh.
And it stays dilapidated for a long time because it's hard to get someone out there to fix it, and it's an expense. And this is actually something that my uncle does. I mean, he has like a rock wall next to his house that people hit continuously. And they hit it, and then he charges them a bunch of money, and he puts the rock wall back, and they hit it. So instead of a metal guardrail, to have something equally as strong made out of just concrete blocks, like those 8 by 16, you know, solid blocks.
Jersey barrier.
Like kind of like a Jersey barrier,
blocks.
but mafia blocks, but not a Jersey barrier, because then that could break and they have to replace the Jersey barrier. Just like they cost like $2 from WW, you just stack them up and they hit them, you charge them, and then you put them back. At least it's something that we can do without outsourcing, getting a metal girder every time somebody hits that thing. Because right now there's no protection at all.
Right.
So,
Now, I think we have to have a metal girder there, don't
Let me
we?
talk with, I can talk with the state.
I'm not sure.
Right.
I can talk with Keith.
But we
Brown.
could do something else in addition, but I don't know that we
I will
can
talk
get
to
away
Keith.
with not
Yeah.
having it. Yeah. Because it's right where the bridge is.
it's,
And there are, so we, in order for us to get our highway money, we have to comply with, road
Standards.
standards, thank you.
Structurally.
Thank
part-
you,
part of the
Karen.
bridge,
Road
technically.
standards, and but I don't think that means we can't do something in addition.
right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, like
But
put
there-
those concrete
certainly
walls
there's
in
been-
front of the metal girder, because it's
What I noticed recently is
never
that
been
we have signage there, and now it's so green and overgrown, I'm like, I can't even see the signs
I've talked to
anymore.
Keith about cutting stuff down.
Okay, all right. Paul?
On the top of that curve right there, if I remember correctly, when we were rebuilding town, there's a requirement to be able to absorb the impact on vehicles. And that is gonna be a problem if you put up concrete.
No, that's what I'm saying, like equally, like basically do a calculation of how much can a metal girder take and how many blocks do you have to have there to be like the equivalent?
Well,
That's
the question is it absorbing the impact of the vehicles? That's the question.
Because if you're making it so that the person's gonna die no matter
No,
what.
no, it doesn't say that
I think that's what Paul's saying. Right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, basically if we couldn't do it
Versus some
to be
shock
as equally,
absorption.
or some
Right.
shock absorber, you know, those things
Right.
filled with sand or whatever. Something other than what we have, because right now it just sits that way for
Right.
months and months and there's no protection at all. So I mean, ideally, if it was proper.
This is something I picked up in the process of all that stuff. When we were
Right.
talking about how to do things, and that's one of the factors was it's supposed to be a little towards.
Karen?
I have a couple of.
Please, of
Can you
course.
remind me this list so after, so
Oh,
I
yeah, so we can put it on in the minutes?
Yeah. The school board, they didn't have a meeting this month. But they decided to do a West River Modified Union Education District Structure Committee meeting. So they started
That's
it. There was one June 24th and another July 8th. Chrissy Haskins and I just discovered that they've had 2 meetings already, and
Aren't they subject to open meeting law?
yeah. Anyway.
Okay, I'm sensing some frustration.
So, meetings, I'm about to post them, I just haven't had time today, to post it on the Facebook page when the next meetings are going to be. And it looks like right now they're every Wednesday morning at 8 o'clock. You can do Zoom or you can go to the central office. So, the June 24th meeting, they discussed some things. Ms. Long, Emily Long, who is she's a state rep. She, I think, is a rep for Townsend and Newfane. I don't know what other town she does, but she mentioned discussing declining enrollment due to birth rate in Vermont. Mr. Pelton, Michael Pelton, who is the new board member from Windham, explained that Windham is seeing an increase in student enrollment since they moved to tuitioning. So because they aren't being forced to go into this school district, they're seeing more students and families moving into Windham. That's the problem with Jamaica. Everybody is moving out or not moving in with families. The July 8th, Emily Long explained that the new legislation has a commitment to find funds for building projects, rewarding districts that merge with money for building projects. So here we are trying to figure out how to make our schools better, and they just want us to build more, and as if that's going to save money. I don't see that.
Build it, they will come.
They're saying that the principal at Quadro, one of the two principals, we now have two principals at Leland and Gray. This is the one who had been there before. Would like to work to engage with families to consider attending Leland and Gray. Saying that we have a higher than the state or national average of AP students that pass classes. The band and theater programs are growing, the student government is very strong. He doesn't know how to advertise to potential future students the benefits of attending Leland and Gray.
I heard a rumor that there's an anticipated decline in enrollment this coming year.
There is.
Okay, all right. I thought it was pretty substantial. All right.
So they want to contact homeschooling families and families who are already sending their kids to other schools. But when you look up Leland and Gray, we're rated 3 out of 10. We have a D+ rating, and we're 29th out of 37 public high schools in Vermont, with a superintendent who is the 5th highest paid superintendent out of those 37 public high schools. Anyway,
Thank you for sharing that. That needs
It's
to be said out
just a
loud.
little frustrating, and I'm all for supporting Leland and Gray because we are going to have an educational desert there. But we have to do better. We can't be happy here in Jamaica with a school that is a D+, a 3 out of 10, and 29 out of 37. So something has to happen, and I don't think building new schools is the answer to that.
Just curious on those ratings, and you hear them all over.
Right.
Who was polled? What's the questions? I mean, if there's a set of questions and somebody was asked these questions and they give all D+, what are those questions and can they be addressed individually to say, why are we rated low on this question? Why are we? But I don't know. I hear those numbers. I hear exactly what you're saying.
I
D+.
looked it up.
Aren't they issued by the state?
3 out of 10. I mean, but 3. Who did the survey? I mean, I've never ever.
I should have written down who did the survey. So
Okay.
I looked it up, I Googled it.
Okay. I never had
these were
those
the
things, so I was just
three
curious.
ratings that popped up.
Yeah,
And that's what everybody is going to look at.
everybody's
but
looking
they're-
at that, but I wonder I don't know where it came from.
So.
But that might be just me.
What I looked at was, and I don't remember what number it was, like what out of what, but it was actually the state. It was the state of Vermont, and
Okay.
it was based on
Some
objective criteria.
Right, but
Yes.
we should look at
Grades, class offerings, AP offerings, student enrollment, enrichment.
But that should be the challenge of this
Right.
new group, and not to say build more buildings, but
Right.
why did we get a 3 out of 10 on this question?
Mhm.
Student enrollment, what does that mean? How can we improve that?
And when you look
There's never-
those
there's not
up,
objectives.
they do say exactly what they're saying, that we have a great band. We didn't have a band for quite a while, but they have brought back the band. And we have a great theater program, and student government is strong, and sports is very strong. And we allow every student to play sports, no matter what. The community, the Leland Gray community is wonderful, and they're trying very hard. Terry Davidson Berger is doing a great job at helping all of these students figure out what to do with their lives after school. And there are programs, if you're mechanically inclined, she will fit you in with a mechanic, and you will learn how to have a job and how to work, and what to do after high school. They are doing wonderful things, but we can't attract families to Jamaica, and it's hurting Jamaica because of the school, and we have to do better. So they have to work more at figuring out how to make Leland Gray better. Or we send our kids to other schools. Bellows Falls is a great school. Their ratings are much higher. Brattleboro is okay. But I don't want to send our kids to Bellows Falls all the way over there every day. So there's no easy answer. There's
Right.
no good answer
But-
for Jamaica.
People should watch the meetings.
Get
and-
involved.
Yeah, get involved.
Were there any other updates to the school building? We had said everything, right? That we were trying to get
I'm still trying to get access, I'm still trying to get full-time access, and I have not heard back. And you have not heard back from the lawyers. They kinda give us a little bit of a
Pietro said he has no problem with it.
Okay.
So this is not a
can you
lawyer
talk
issue.
about that? I mean,
Bob knows that. Pietro said it in an email.
okay, I didn't see that.
So-
I mean, basically, I'll follow up tomorrow. I was gonna wait. I didn't know if they had a meeting tonight or not. I was gonna.
No, they did not.
So
No,
I,
no,
I'll
no. I think he's probably.
That's the only thing I'm trying to do is
I
get
think what we
access.
should do is see if it's on the agenda for the next meeting, because I think now Bob is gonna be like, well, I need permission from the board. So,
And
yeah.
I think what they're doing is dragging their feet until we
Yes.
close. And then they don't have to worry about it. That's
Right.
what they're trying to do. So
Yeah, but there's no reason for it. I mean, it's
I'm
just,
not
it's just,
questioning, the reason is because they don't want to
Right.
deal with it. So they
yeah.
don't want us in the building when we don't own the building. So they're dragging their feet, and we're gonna hit the end of August or whatever, and they say, okay, well, it's closed now, so you guys can have your CPs in here.
Right.
That's what they're doing.
yeah.
And it's obvious because
then
I
I
get the
think
same
I'm-
answer every single time, that
I'm-
we're still trying to work it out.
I'm
It's
happy
just
to,
attrition.
all right, so I'm happy to press it because
Please do.
Pietro said it's fine.
Please do.
And
Press
I
it.
don't actually understand why the board needs to approve that, but I mean,
I don't
if
either.
that's what they want, then at the next board meeting, it should be put on, and it's always on a night.
And again, Greg
Right here,
offered-
but maybe I
offered
need to
if-
attend that.
If the Arts Council asks for permission to use the
Yeah.
building, then he said they would give it to them.
Right.
But they don't want to give us full-time access unfettered.
All right, well, I hate to say that, I don't know, I mean, it does seem that way.
It seems that way.
It seems that way, we don't know for sure, but it seems that
Well,
way.
it seems that.
Well, I think we need to make sure that the fans are going, the air handler
Because
system
we've been
is
doing
going,
that.
and all of that.
Well, right
So-
now, they're, you know, that's their, yeah. Greg is gonna let
But if
us.
it's not working, then we take on the building with more problems.
Absolutely, but more than that, I mean, we should just be able to be,
I know.
just, yeah, I mean, we're not the only,
We're on the same
we're not the
team,
only
pretty
town
much.
that is right now taking back their town, their school.
Right.
And I can tell you others are not seeing the same issue.
Right.
So, yeah, absolutely.
Can I say it up? So
Yeah.
I was at the building today, the air handlers were running.
Okay, good.
They did have the fan in the kitchen blowing air out, so they're trying to draw air from the gym. And I did see signs that they're doing their due diligence of cleaning the building up pretty well too.
Okay, good.
I saw vacuums were out and things like that, so that's all a good sign. But I also have to share from the committee standpoint, I'm working closely with Efficiency Vermont. They've assigned us, you know, a director, so on and so forth. They want to get into the building with us to look and make suggestions. I can't get in the building.
Yeah,
I'll continue to work on it, guys.
yeah.
So, you know,
yeah.
these grants are gonna be really important to us, in my
Yes.
opinion.
Right.
And Efficiency Vermont really wants to step up and help us as
Right.
much as they can, but they can't until they
Right.
have access like we do.
Do you, and you'll tell me when you wanna, if you wanna be on the next agenda, like if you have something to, you'll let me know, right? Okay, okay, all right. Karen?
So I also wanted to just, I may have brought it up once before, but the town has 2 new FEMA buyout properties. One, they're not brand new, but these are the FEMA buyout properties that happened this last year.
the town owns
Yes,
2 new
the town-
properties.
Oh,
Because of FEMA.
okay, I'm like, what?
There's no new.
Oh, I don't have another closing.
We have this little one here, on Water Street.
Yeah.
And we had talked a little bit about maybe creating a couple parking spots there. It's another little swimming hole that people could go into, having a picnic table or 2 there or something like that. So I'm not asking for you to spend any money on it now, but I'm going to keep bringing it up to think about. And I think it's a sweet little spot.
It is.
For people to
Lovely
pull off.
there. Yeah.
The other one is about 5 acres down by Smith Road and Henderson Road.
Yeah.
It is nice flat land right on the brook.
Right.
It's really beautiful,
Right.
and I think that we should.
And they
take
made it
advantage
nice
of
and
that.
level out there and, yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. It's really
Yeah.
nice.
And it's a pretty big, how, is it 5?
It's about 5 acres.
Yeah.
We
It's
said just
really
under
seen it.
5 GIS.
That's where they
Other
took
than
that.
driving by.
They took down both the barn and the house, right?
Everything is gone.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
can I ask, with that 5-acre lot that the town now owns, right? Are there any limitations on what people can do there? Because I drive there every Monday, by there every Monday, doing Meals on Wheels, and there's often vehicles parked, like where they reseed it and put down the hay and stuff. They're parked in the middle of it, and people are doing stuff all over it. And I'm just curious.
Is it that property or the next property?
It's where the house and the garage were taken
Okay.
down.
So-
This
that's
morning
the
when I
town's
drove by,
property.
someone was parked right where the garage used to be.
Okay.
And I'm just curious,
Right.
you know, since it's all reseeded and everything.
Unless we police that, there's nothing, we
Right.
don't have any signs up that you can't trespass.
It's a town-owned property.
Right.
Town-owned property.
Right,
There's
right.
no, now, they can't build on it, we can't build on it, and it's similar to Water Street, we can't build
We
on it.
can't
no
sell
permanent
it,
structure,
right.
we can sell it.
But we can use it. I mean, we can
Yes.
regulate
And we can
it.
put a sign up
Yeah.
that says no trespassing if we wanted to, until we decided what to do.
Right.
We may want to look at regulating or
Right.
limiting what kind of access, not that somebody can't walk in there, but just so you can't have 4-wheelers go tearing it up, or where can you park, or where can you?
Yes.
That was my question,
Yeah.
a designated parking spot, because right now it seems like you can park anywhere you want. And if we want that to regrow and stabilize, it doesn't seem like a great idea to have people parked right next to the brook.
Right.
So then we can
So-
look at adding.
I will say, look at it, maybe you all go look at it.
Yeah.
And see, look at the potential. Jamba has trails that we're working on that would be right close by there. And we were thinking it would be a great place to park for people to take their bikes off and go access some trails in East Jamaica. So it's a big project and we're working on it. We have quite a few property owners, there's several hundred acres of land that property owners want us to use. So we're excited about it, but it takes a lot of time to make things happen.
Right.
But eventually we would like to use that spot.
No, but I think for not a lot of money, you can certainly limit where people park and, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mondays are mountain bike Mondays. Tonight, they were biking at the Ball Mountain Dam. Wednesday night socials, 6 to 8 at Peacock Outfitters. We have Dave Dominic coming this week, which is great. I don't know if you've heard him play the guitar, but he's really good. Thursdays.
He's great.
We're still having groceries for kids and teens from 12 to 4 at the Jamaica Village School. We're starting to call it the Jamaica Village Community Center.
Okay.
Anyway, we not sold out, but we gave away everything and we had a few people come who weren't able to get anything.
Oh, really?
I know, it's really tough, but they're giving us more this week, so
Good.
we're excited about that.
Good. Great.
But more people are wanting to come, and people are so thankful for this.
Yes, of
You
course.
receive a bag of sort of dry goods, But there's a jar of peanut butter, there's salsa,
And
there's
there's
tortillas, there's a bag of produce and cheese.
Right.
So they can make quesadillas, there's baked potatoes to make baked potatoes. And then they get a gallon for each one. And they encourage the kids to make their own food, and they tell them what to eat, you know, at each meal for the week. So it's really pretty neat.
Right, right.
Java Trail Work is this Thursday at Ball Mountain Dam. Wednesday, and there's Jamaica Run Club at 5:30 meeting at West River Provisions. Friday is Craft Cart Fridays at the library from 10 to noon. Bingo every Friday night. Doors open at 6, games start at 7. Saturday yoga and acupuncture at Be Well from 9 to 11. Fun at the State Park, Primitive Fire Building and Spin Top Revolution from 1 to 3. I'm not sure what Spin Top Revolution is, but I'm sure a lot of people do. Sunday yoga at the Town Hall, 9 o'clock with Mike Mackey. Food pantry donations, the church is looking for food pantry donations. People are having a rough time with the prices of everything going up, and especially groceries. I just talked to somebody today who's having a really rough time, and so we contacted the pastor at the church. He's working something out with them, and he'll deliver or make it available so they can go over at a different time to pick stuff up. And they're able to get some stuff for the kids also. But it's really hard for people. So food pantry donations are great. They can also be left, I think, at the West River Provisions still. First Friday of the month in Jamaica Village, there's local artists, gallery is open, and this goes on through August. Jamaica Day, Saturday, August 15th. We're having meetings on Wednesday nights in here at 6 o'clock. Pikes Falls Chamber Music Festival, August 18th through the 21st. We had a wonderful concert.
Woohoo!
The Irish band, I think they completely sold out. The streets were filled with cars, and it looked like a fun time.
It was amazing. Wasn't it great? It was so good.
I had a conflict, so I
so
couldn't make it. And the other thing is Tommy Fest, which was this last Saturday. Absolutely
huge crowd,
wonderful.
right? Huge crowd.
The love and all these people getting free instruments and classes. Free classes to learn the instruments. Everyone's just so happy, and Nancy Jean does an awesome job. So that was great.
That was amazing.
So I think that's all I have.
All right. I will make a motion to adjourn. Thank you. You know what? And I didn't bring my little sheety sheet.
I didn't bring my little
Yes,
sheet.
yes. Hold on. Do you have a sheety sheet? It's in my, yes, and it's gonna be, yes, you do. There it is,
I
right?
think that
Yes.
I may have.
You have both,
Oh, I was
right?
gonna bring it over once we finish.
Okay. We're gonna, just letting you know, we're gonna go into executive session. So I'd like to make a motion, that we as a board find that premature general public knowledge of an application for employment with the town would clearly place both the candidate and the town at a substantial disadvantage, because the select board, if it discusses personal information in public, puts both of us at risk.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
I now move, thank you, Kate, move that we enter into executive session to discuss an application for employment with the town by a private individual, and that we do so in executive session under the provisions of Title I, Section 313A1A of the Vermont statutes annotated.
I second that.
Thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none? All those in favor? We have exited executive session. No motions were made, and no motions need to be made at this point. I will make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.